Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chidi. I am a Nigerian resident here in Helsinki, Finland. Yes, today I want to make a deeper presentation about the subject I tried to introduce in my previous video, or in my last video rather. So, accommodation. Yes. So, and from the accommodation issue, I dived straight into homelessness because while I showed that or I adapted that video to give a little bit introduction to what I wanted to talk about, was because it was taken from America. So, and then while I use America to show example, is that America is supposed to be a superpower, and the center of the world economically, and yes, so if they can be able to have homeless people in such proportion, so we can be able to wonder what is going to happen to my country, Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Uganda. I don't know which country you are watching me from. So whatever that is going to happen, because each of us being from the third world countries, our economy is, or our standard, the standard set by the government, or by the position we maintain as a third world country, does not permit us to even have a home to live in. It is by the grace of God that we are managing. So homelessness is a thing, it is like a must, and it is something that has to give every one of us some concern, a little bit of a sleeplessness. I mean, you don't have to sleep so deep and then forget that anything could still happen. So yes, so that was why I used that video to back up my subject. To back up this subject I'm trying to talk about. Yes. So for me to begin right now, this is the place I called home. For now, I don't know what is going to happen, if I'm going to be kicked into the streets tomorrow. Anything could still happen. So my own phobia is centered around the possibilities of, my own, anything could happen, that I find myself in the street. I'm not able to have a place that I can be able to call home. I'm working hard to be able to maintain, to meet up with the maintenance of the place I call home, so that I can be able to sleep here, wake up in the morning, do my hustles, and every other thing that has to do with my own existence. So this place now is an apartment that is measured about 58.5 square meters. So I moved into this place in the year 2010, and the rent was barely 500 euros at that time. So this is the year 2025, and it is crawling around 800 euros. So except during that 800 euro is just congratulations, and I appreciate the management of this estate. And during the pandemic, the rent was not increased. So for that 2 or 3 years, we lived here, pay our normal rent. There was not any increase in the rent. So I thank them for that. So this apartment you are looking at right now, for that measurement of the space, has been broken into different sections, which I might want to show, because I really want you to have a feeling of what I'm the space I occupy, and what will happen if eventually I'm not able to meet up with the demands of the maintenance of this space, and I'm going to be kicked out into the street. So an important aspect of my utility bills, to make sure that the management of the house are happy, and then continue to keep me here. So that is it. But I have this fear that if anything happens and I am not able to, or I default in the payment of the rent, so this is where homelessness begins to crawl in, and this is where the fears begin to, I am justified to have my fear, because when I watch that kind of a situation that is happening in America and different part of the world, and where we have homeless people. I don't judge them. I don't put blames on them in any way, because I don't think anybody will want to intentionally want to decide that yes, I give up the comfort of my apartment or wherever I live, and then go into the street and then to stay in the cold and in the rain. No, some things happens. So the, due to the fact that the rent will continue to crawl and begin to rise, and then my income stays the same, there might be a time that this rent will now begin to, when I pay my rent, I might not have sufficient money to be able to do some other things like buy food or whatever. I just pay my rent. There are people that I've seen here in living, some of the Europeans, they pay their rents, and the moment they pay their rent, they have little money left for, I mean, for feeding. But we have to like take into consideration a lot of things in determining how much we want to pay for the house. If I feel that this place is being of so strenuous for me to, I mean, to manage with, so what I'm going to do is I have to downsize and then think about some other. I have to move to somewhere else that it's a little bit smaller. So there are people that they have the apartments are there. I can take such an apartment where you have this, you have this, you have a lock-up garage, you have a sauna, you have this, you have a big garage, two toilets, I mean, separate toilet, a separate bathroom, everything is a bigger sitting room, whatever, two bedroom, you know. So at the end of the day, you pay the rent and then you have nothing again. So, and there are people that also have a single bedroom, that is everything is there, and then the rent can be manageable. So there are things that we have to be able to adjust, to be able to make sure that we keep on date with the payment of the rent and then we don't default. So I have my fears about what is going to happen to me if such a situation arises. What am I going to do? So what have driven me into this topic is, I mean, two things are driving me into this topic. One of it is that my involvement in construction industries, where I've seen the effort of the government of this country trying to make provisions for a lot of apartments for people to live in. So, and then I have been working with construction companies, and I'm seeing the process of building a home. And I am also a foreigner. I'm a Nigerian living here. This is not my home. One day I'm going to pack up my things and leave. And I cannot boast of building a house of my own here in Finland. Definitely, that is not possible. So I'm going to start thinking about homelessness. If at the end of the day I am not able to build a home, or I retire as a foreigner, I don't plan that I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. What am I going to? What is the struggle? What are the measures of efforts I'm going to put in to be able to make sure that I can be able to have, even if it is a mud house somewhere in Africa, where I can retire myself in and leave this place, because this is not my home. Anyway, I will take you a little bit more in the second part of this video to be able to explain a little bit more of my efforts, what I'm doing to be able to meet up with the demands that is set for me for the payment of my rent on time, and then what will happen if I default, and probably there are things that we have to learn from whatever that is going on, and how it affects everybody's life. So, like what I'm trying to say is this: even if we talk about homelessness, because during the coronavirus era, there are some people that I know that left on holiday to Africa, and they were just in, they didn't even land. The moment they landed in the country, there was lockdown. So they finished their holiday. They are not allowed to come back to Finland. Yes. So that is part of the things that will happen, that you didn't intend to lose your home. You didn't intend to become homeless. I mean, homeless, and then suddenly it will just happen. So those guys were there in Africa when it was locked, when the lockdown began effect. So And then if the lockdown lasted for example 3 months, and then you have a home that you have not made any provision for the remittance of the rent for that period of time, and then you depend on your income to be able to pay the rent, and then you have been locked out of Finland, somewhere in Africa. So what are you going to do? So before the judgment will be passed, when they have waited for them to be able, their rent is not forthcoming, there is a provision that is made that they have to take the matter to the court and then decide in absentia to kick them out of the house. And then you come back home, and then wherever they have deposited your stuff, you just go there and pick them up, and then you start your life again, maybe from the street. So things happens. So if we find ourselves in that situation, what can we do? So I am them. So my own phobia is directed or pointing towards that kind of aspect, or that kind of direction. What am I going to do? So, but for now, I just say thank you for watching, and please, I'm still coming up with the second part, or the continuous topic, or the continuous discussion about uh, accommodation, homelessness, and my own struggles to see that I keep myself in my own nest. Thank you for watching again. Yeah.